I wanna be a billionaire. I ain't getting no sleep till I see $1 million every week. I wanna be a billionaire. I ain't getting no sleep till I see $1 billion every week. I wanna be a billionaire. Billionaire. I wanna be a billionaire. Billionaire. I wanna be a billionaire. Ladies and gentlemen, how you doing? Welcome to another episode of Sleep is for Billionaires, the podcast. I am your host, Johnny Vegas. Now today, I have a very special guest on my show. Ladies and gentlemen, you are in for a treat, and I hope you got your pen and pad ready to take some notes. This man is the owner of Sachs & Spencer Capital. He is a hard money lender, a shark in the business. Ladies and gentlemen, Adam Cohen.
How you doing?
Doing very well.
Good to see you again.
Good to see you again. I can see this guy every day.
Too often.
Right. So yeah, I just pretty much, I want to thank you for being on my show. You know, we tried to schedule this so many times, but now we finally got it. Yeah, it happened.
Yeah, our schedules kind of kept missing one another, but it's all good, right?
Yes,
it's all
absolutely.
Good.
Very good. So yeah, I know your business is more in the real estate, so that's the conversation I want to have. And the information I want from my audience is basically to get insider information for those that are looking to be in your position one day. So, but I want to start from the beginning. Where are you originally from?
I'm from London, England.
Okay. And tell me, what was your first dream prior to getting into real estate? I'm talking about Adam Cohen as a kid. You know, wanting to, what I want to be when I grow up.
Adam Cohen as a kid wanted to be an Air Force pilot.
Really? Okay.
I didn't achieve that goal.
Okay. Did you make steps to achieve that goal?
I actually did, and I have I'm short-sighted, and I have astigmatism.
Oh, really?
So I didn't qualify.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I had other options, and it just wasn't what I wanted.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like that sometimes. You know, God got a plan for everybody.
Yep.
You know, so you were going to school throughout that time. At what point did you decide to come to the States? Like, how did that story happen?
I came to the United States in when did I come? 2000.
Okay.
I was 26 years old.
Okay.
I had already bought, sold, and developed and created a number of companies by that time.
Okay, okay. So let's go back. So now let's talk about the first step towards entrepreneurship.
Okay. So I was one of those irritating kids that was a straight A student who never paid attention in class, didn't turn up to class half the time, but would get straight A's in all my exams and all my courseworks, and no one could complain.
Yeah.
Right? Hated school, so I left school at 16. I came home one day and I said, Mum, Dad, I'm leaving school.
Wow.
And my mum was like, but you're meant to go to law school and become a lawyer. And I'm like, yeah, that plan isn't going to happen. So I said to them that I'm going to start a business, and if it doesn't work out, then I will go back the following year and enroll for college.
Okay.
So
that's a good deal.
Yeah, so they reluctantly agreed, but in England, it's not uncommon for you to have a year off when you're either 16 after GCSE before A-level, GCSE, which is, I guess your high school diploma.
Okay, or like a GED equivalency?
Yeah. No, GCSE, like your high school. I mean, how old do you, when do you graduate high school here? 16, right?
It depends I got it back. So
yeah, I don't know.
No, but I got the GED.
Okay.
Yeah.
So England and America, I've never quite understood American education because I didn't go to school here.
Right.
So I don't really understand the equivalence. But,
okay.
But,
well, it's similar to a high school diploma.
Yeah.
You know, you still get the same opportunity. You just, you know, instead of going the 4 years through high school, you can leave earlier. And I chose to do that. They call it good enough diploma.
Okay. I graduated high school with, top grades.
Right.
So, and then I started doing my A-levels. I just hated the subjects, hated the teachers. My friends had left. I was bored.
Yeah.
And
must be nice. Straight A's and he's bored.
And I used to refer to school as the hypothetical world.
Okay.
And I wanted to get out into the real world where I could make money and hustle. I was 16 years old and I was ready to go. I just wanted to get out there and make a deal and make some money and like be a baller, you know what I mean? Right. Like, and that wasn't even a thing back then. It was. Everyone looked at me like I was insane. My friends made fun of me.
Yeah.
My family all thought I was a dropout. And back in those days, cell phones were just becoming popular.
Okay.
Right? They remember the bricks, right? The car battery with the handset on top. It was like you'd walk like this. Anyway, but they were a thing back then. And what happened was when I was 16, my dad bought me a motorbike. Okay. Because you can drive them in England at 16.
Nice.
Right? And my mum went ballistic.
I'm sure.
No, you're not having that. That's not on. But I was an avid cyclist anyway, so I knew how to use a bike and I knew the roads. So the agreement was if my dad got me a phone, I could have the bike, right?
Nice.
Problem solved. Okay, my dad gets me this phone, this big car battery thing with a hands out on top of it. And, everywhere I'd go anywhere, I'd be like calling from the back of the bike, Mom, Dad, I'm okay. I'll see you later, right? So I grew up in a good neighborhood in Hampstead Garden suburb in North London. And most of my friends' parents were lawyers or doctors or stockbrokers or high-end people.
Right.
So they see me with this mobile phone, this transportable phone that we would call them.
Right.
And they started asking me if I could get them one because there were no stores. There was no like 7-Eleven, go and buy one, or go to the car phone warehouse, or go to, what do you call it here? Target, right? And get a phone. There was no way. It was like buying drugs, only it was legal.
Right.
No one knew how to get one. You had to know someone who knew someone.
Yeah.
So, I knew the guy where my dad got the phone from, so I called the guy up and said, hey, can I get a couple of those phones from you? And he's like, couple? And I'm like, yeah, it's like 2 or 3. What is it? Like, he says, all right, give me like £2,500 and I'll give you 3 phones. Fantastic. I give him the money, boom, and I go sell them, double my money,
nice.
$5,000, and I'm like, hey,
I can get used to this.
Feels good, right? My friends were all working day jobs to make like, say, $40 or $50 equivalent a day.
Right.
Laughing at me, high school dropout. I just made $2,500 in like one afternoon.
Right.
So feeling pretty good about myself.
Yeah.
I started talking to more of my friends' parents. Hey, you want me to get you a phone? The following year, it was that same year, the Motorola Brick came out. Okay. Remember the yuppie phone and the big antenna? It was that brick. Hey everybody, what's up? I'm on my mobile, right?
Yeah, that's a Zach Moore phone from Saved by the Bell.
Yeah, exactly. So in the English accent, I guess it'd be, hey, I'm on the mobile.
Exactly.
So everybody wanted one. All the people I'd sold the big phone to, everybody wanted that Motorola Brick phone. So I'm calling my buddy up, hey, I need to get like 20 of these Motorola Brick phones. He's like, 20? I said, yeah, everyone I sold that other phone to wants one of these phones then.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, you got cash? I said, yeah, I got cash. I said, I've already charged everybody up front.
Yeah, exactly.
So he's like, all right, fine, come and we'll do the business, right? Do the bizzo, as they say in London. Do the bizzo, right?
The
bizzo? The bizzo.
Oh, bizzo.
Bizzo.
Got it.
So went, settled up, got the phone, dropped them off, and now I've made like 10 grand.
Jesus. You're still 16?
I'm still 16. This is like within 3 months of the first sale.
Wow.
These people had money, they wanted to buy phones.
Were your parents aware of this?
Not yet.
Not yet. When did they find out? When they saw you all this money?
I'll tell you about it in a minute. So anyway, this became a thing.
Okay.
Right? Like people wanting to get phones from me, and I'm still like a few months out of school. I'm not doing anything. I'm already like living the great life.
Right.
Rockstar baby.
Yeah.
And so there was a car audio. Remember the car audio places where you used to go and get your stereo and your alarm put in? There was one of those across the street from my parents' house. And it was a good corner with high traffic, had parking, and they were always busy. And the store next door to that was a florist. And the lady retired. I'd known her like as growing up as a kid, but she retires and the store is empty. And I want to rent the store, but I can't rent the store because I'm 16 years old. So I go home and I'm like, Dad, I want to rent that store, but they won't let me sign the lease. I've already negotiated the lease, but I need
still 16.
Still 16. But I need someone to sign. And my dad's like, can I use bad language?
Yeah.
He's like, you're fucking mad. He's like, you're fucking crazy. You open the store for you're 16 years old. I'm like, Dad, look how much money I'm making. Or literally, I had in my closet boxes full of cash.
Wow.
Because my Uncle Harry told me if I banked it, I'd have to pay taxes on it.
Right, put it in the closet.
No IRS, please.
Exactly.
Too many years ago, sorry. Anyway, different country.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't count here.
Doesn't count. I was under 18.
Exactly. It's a minus still.
So my dad's like, all right, we're going to open this store. So I open the store, and it's a gold mine. Selling phones. People are just rolling up every day, buying phones. And I'm just making so much money. It's like laughable. Now I turned 17. I'm driving. I bought my first sports car like the day after I passed my driving test. My friends are laughing at me at this point. They're looking at me. Envy. Envy. So I was getting all the girls. I'm driving a nice car. I'm hanging out in the clubs. I'm
still 16.
16, 17 borders.
17,
okay. So anyway, my godfather, he owned a store in, let's call it the Hood.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Right? All right. So, like East LA type.
Right.
So he owned a building there. He said, Adam, you want the store? I'm like, sure. Gives me a sweetheart deal. So I'm like, no problem. I opened a store there. Now you got all the local guys coming in, and let's just say business was good. If business was good at the other place, business was even better there.
Okay.
So I grew this into a little empire over 2 years. All right, just after I turned 18, I bought myself a nice Aston Martin convertible.
Nice.
I bought myself a beautiful condo, paid cash. My friends are not laughing at me anymore. They are hating me.
This is still over there.
This is still over London.
Okay.
So, 18 years old, driving an Aston Martin, living in my duplex penthouse apartment in Hampstead Village in North London. Going to visit my friends in university, living in their student halls. Can't afford to buy a drink. And I'm doing rounds for everybody.
Right.
And getting all the girls and having a great time. So this all grew, and then that went into wholesale and manufacturing and import and export, and I grew the business.
Wow.
Up until right before I turned 20, at which point I got approached by a big company to be bought out. I was like, goodbye.
Oh, okay.
Done. I sold out. So I sold my first company. I was 20 years old.
Congratulations,
They got me
man.
started.
So they must have gave you an offer you couldn't refuse.
They did.
So from that point on, when did you came here at that point, or?
No, I came here a few years later. I came here when I was 26. So I was right there. I was 19, 20. So after that, I decided I wanted to get out of the business. I'd had a few good offers from some big companies, but I'm unemployable. I can't get out of bed in the morning, and God forbid someone tells me what to do.
Yeah, oh, no.
I'm like, telling me what to do is equal to telling me not to do it.
Exactly.
Change that light bulb. Okay.
Yeah, you have to be
Like,
God himself.
Exactly. I mean, next year I've been self-employed for 30 years of my life.
Woo,
30 years. I'm only 45, so
Hey.
that's a big milestone.
That's a blessing.
All right. I've never had a job.
Mm.
No one has ever hired me. I have never had a W-2 or anything like that.
Yeah.
I have made my
Never
own money.
filled out
my
a job
entire life.
application,
So,
nothing.
Business good, business bad. No matter what, I've never gone and applied for a job. Never filled out an application. Wouldn't know what one looks like. Resume, don't have one.
You don't need it. So when did you see an opportunity in real estate?
Okay, well, real estate came a little after that. So before that, I'll just give you a quick rundown.
Okay, yeah,
I
sure,
became a
sure.
private investigator.
Wait, okay. Yeah. I'm gonna just let you control this interview because you got so many stories. Like, okay, let's talk about that.
So I became a private
This is
investigator.
in LA or still in London?
This is still in the UK,
Okay.
and I'm still a member of the Association of British Investigators.
Wow. Okay.
And I also started manufacturing surveillance equipment because it was just the day when it was becoming sexy.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
When you could put a little camera in this light because it had a power source, and
Right.
you could broadcast a radio, a radio frequency on an FM,
Yeah.
or a little camera that would go through like a HDMI or something.
Yeah.
Right? Early days.
Yeah.
So this was all fun stuff.
That's awesome.
But the City of London Police didn't necessarily agree with that.
Oh,
So they
okay.
shut me down, and that was when I started to get into real estate.
Oh,
So I got into real estate. I'd grown up in it. My father was in real estate, all his
Okay.
friends were in real estate, but I didn't want to follow the family business. It wasn't what I wanted to do.
Mhm.
So I was thinking about moving to America when I was 21, 22 to chase after some girl.
Oh, Lord.
Long story for another day.
Yeah,
Alright.
that never goes well.
Anyway, some girl I'd been dating.
Mhm.
So I decided that I wasn't quite ready. I had to get the visa, do all these things. That what am I going to do? I need to hustle some shekels, as we say, right?
Yeah.
And I wasn't quite sure what I wanted. And I saw that my friends were making money in real estate. They were doing rentals.
Okay.
So I walked down an area called Golders Green Road, which is where I grew up,
Right.
like 5 minutes from there. And every other store is a real estate agent or real estate broker, as you call it.
Mhm.
So I knew nothing about real estate. I'd been showing houses with my dad as a kid, like
Yeah.
kid showing houses, whatever. But I didn't really know anything. You could have written everything I knew about real estate on a stamp.
Yeah.
There would have been room for illustration. So I spent 2 days researching real estate, like rentals.
Yeah.
How do you get a listing? I already knew about like marketing from my phone business. So I was pretty good at marketing even at a young age.
Did you have to get your license as an agent?
Not then, no, it's different
No?
then. It's
Okay.
changed now, but it's different then.
Okay.
So I just, how do you do a rental? What information do you need? Where do you get a listing? What documentation? Blah, 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 right? Spent 2 days researching it, and the third day I opened up a company.
Damn. Why waste time?
Why
Get it
waste
done.
time? So I put some ads in a few papers, and I knew how to manipulate the classifieds, so I'd always be on top.
Yeah.
I knew that from my phone business.
Nice.
Little trade secret there, I'm not going to give that one away.
Yeah, off camera though, we will.
But there's a way in which if you know how to market, if you have classified ads, which are the best, that's where everybody looks. Because they're looking for a deal.
Exactly.
Right? There's a trick to get to the top of the section. We'll save that for another day. It's a little trick. So all my friends are asking me how every day my ads are always at the top of every section, every column. My company, my company, my company. I'm like, well, if you don't know your business,
right.
Too bad.
I'm just that good.
So I started going through the classifieds also, like calling for rent by owner, first up by owner, and got a few listings, went and installed them. Now I'm advertising those units. Next thing you know, I get a call, I go out, I show an apartment, I make a deal, I make myself $1,000, $1,100 or $1,200.
Yeah.
I'd only be doing it for a week.
Wow.
And I think to myself, my friends all work for brokers. They've got to split their commission.
Right.
8 out of 10 real estate deals are shared between two houses.
Right.
Broker A, broker B, then it's a trickle down to the agents, so they're working for 25% commission.
Right.
I'm working for myself. Direct to landlord, no middleman, no other broker.
Just you.
Or renters only. And I already made my full commission on it was my first real estate commission.
Congratulations.
Wow. I was in such a good mood.
Wow.
I was smiling like I'm smiling now. Just thinking about it. I was like, that was a good day.
Damn, man. So when's the book come out?
So that's how I got into real estate.
Okay. No, that's awesome,
Right.
man. So how'd you get into the lending side of things?
Alright, so lending was an early evolution.
Okay.
So long story short, I don't talk too much about was my ex-wife and I got married when we were 22.
Okay.
And I already bought my first place for cash, so that was good. But I wanted to buy a place for like her and I. Went to a mortgage broker, paid him some money, did the paperwork, blah, blah, blah. Guess what? No mortgage. Don't hear from the guy, calls, hey, what happened? I'm in contract, I'm going to lose my deposit. Nothing. I got my money back.
Yeah.
Old school.
Oh, man.
Anyway.
I mean, you go through hurdles in this business, I'm assuming.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Right. So I decided I'm going to do the mortgage myself.
Okay.
I know nothing about mortgages. I'm barely learning about real estate yet. So mortgages is just, hey, that's a whole nother one. But
beast.
Know nothing about it. Start calling all the banks, getting all the loan programs, writing them all down, comparing them. Self-employed, mediocre credit, no tax returns.
Right.
If I'm bad, my exes at the time was even worse. No income, no nothing.
Right.
So I'm trying to get a mortgage. Well, after I went through all the banks, I picked a bank, and this one works, submitted the paperwork, filled out the forms, and what I learned is I have a gift for filling out forms. I get paperwork. Don't ask me why. I hate paperwork, but I get it.
Yeah.
Filled out the forms, got my approval. Right? Got my mortgage approved.
Wow.
Bought the house. I'm like, this isn't that hard. I'm sure there are other people in my situation who need to get financing who don't know how to do it.
Right.
That brought me into rental properties. And by that point, I'd opened up a real estate company in the West End, a nice little retail front. I'm starting to do sales and some commercial. So I'm starting to learn about rental mortgages. And I found that this was almost like the holy grail. No one knew about it.
Right.
Everyone was lying on their mortgage application to try and get first-time buyer discount for a regular mortgage on a rental property, which is actually mortgage fraud. When you didn't have to, there was actually a package that allowed you to get investment mortgages. No one knew about it. It was like unspoken. It was almost like a dirty word, but completely legal and by banks.
Right.
So I started doing buy-to-lets. Then I started hustling at the auctions, buying, selling, flipping, and I started learning about bridge lending.
Okay.
And I bought a building at a real estate auction when I was 22 or 23. I think it's the first time I did a commercial purchase myself.
Wow.
And I needed to close in 2 weeks, and you can't get a mortgage in 2 weeks, not a commercial mortgage. So I went and got my first bridge loan. And that was how I got into bridge lending.
Wow. Okay, you actually took out the loan.
Yeah,
Got it.
so that was how I got into it. When I realized that this was very poorly marketed, that no one knew about it, I started I went and I met with the owner of the company and got like an agreement with him to market his company.
Yeah.
And I put them on the map.
Right.
I made money, they made money, everybody won. So I'm still friends with them today. They're still investors with me to this day.
They better be. I mean, you made them money.
So that was kind of how I got into bridge lending, and that's the beginning. And then when I came to America a few years later, when I was 26, I kind of I wanted to leave England and broaden my wings and England was too small for me.
Right,
I'd grown it.
Yeah.
I'd been everywhere, done what I wanted to do. I wanted to take on a new challenge. And I remember all my family told me I'd fail. Right?
Okay.
Well, not my parents, but like cousins, friends. New York will eat you up, it'll spit you up.
Yeah,
right?
that's what they told me about Cali.
Yeah. So everyone told me I'd fail. That I was a punk kid that knew nothing, that would fall flat on my ass and whatever. And I lived in New York for 10 years. Right? I've been in the US for 20 years, and guess what?
And life is good.
Life is good. I'm still smiling. I'm still standing. I'm still hustling. And I love it.
Word.
Love it. And I've survived 2 recessions here. I've survived, from rough times with the economy and everything. We've had some bruises.
Yeah, I definitely want to shed light on that. What are some of the trials and tribulations you've gone through in your business? Because I'm sure there've been many.
All right. So the worst one would have been 2008 when the recession. There was a huge recession here, so 2008 to 2010. It really started in 2007. At that point, I had about 50 properties that I'd bought that I was renovating, fixing, renting, or managing, flipping, or whatever. I had a huge office in the Empire State Building. I had 3,000 square feet on the 76th floor of the Empire State Building. I missed that office.
Yeah.
I had 30 guys hustling in the room. But my overhead there was $750,000 a year, just before I put one penny in myself.
Right.
So when the market nosedived and values were falling, and also the internet at that point was just coming into its own, and a lot of my clients were starting to set up their own real estate offices versus using a broker to do it for them. That really made a dent in my business, so my revenue went like this, straight. It was like a free fall.
Wow.
That was kind of worrying, and that was just the beginning. And that kind of stayed like that from 2008 to 2010. There were some really, really painful years.
Yeah.
But I hustled a few deals. I actually came up with a company called Handsome Devil Enterprises, which I was doing short sell flips with. And I remember all my friends laughing at me for having such a stupid company name. It kind of is, right?
I mean,
It's
still an attention grabber, though.
It suits my persona.
Right.
And everyone calls me the Handsome Devil. It's kind of a nickname between me and my friends. But if you ever come to a meeting with me, from people that know me from New York, they're like, Adam, the Handsome Devil, how you doing? It hasn't gone away. So, but I remember my friends would call up and they'd be like, hey, this is so-and-so from XYZ and Associates. Hey, this is my friend AJ calling from, this one investment company. And they'd never get a call back. Like loan servicing companies, banks, they don't call anybody back, ever. You just have to keep calling until you get someone.
Right.
I would call up and leave a message. Hey, this is Adam from Handsome Devil Enterprises. I'm calling up about that property on the West Village or Upper West Side. I'm interested in buying it. Please call me back.
Right.
All these banks would call me back. All of them. They'd be like, I want to talk to the Handsome Devil.
The Handsome Devil.
And I'm like, you got him. And it was a great icebreaker, and it kind of eased me back into that recovery.
Yeah.
And it empowered me to do some good business for a couple of years. That kept me going whilst I rebuilt.
Right.
And then in 2010, I did a landmark transaction. There were so many lawsuits filed over this transaction.
Wow.
I remember I was living in Vegas for a while, and I'm walking down Las Vegas Boulevard. I like to use my hands to speak.
Yeah.
So,
I do that too.
it's a Jewish thing, It might be an English thing,
Maybe.
Anyway, so I got a call from one of my clients. He's got a 7,000 square foot house on the water in Miami Beach. And he's got to get rid of it before the end of the year, otherwise he loses his tax break.
Okay.
All right. He's got 3 weeks to get rid of his house.
Wow.
I said, give it to me. He's $13 million upside down. He's going to lose it anyway.
Exactly.
$13 million upside down.
Yes. Wow.
And I said, just sign it over to me. You get your tax credit, I get the house. He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, quit claim the deed to me, all right? You get your tax credit, I get the house. And I'll cut you back a small percentage of whatever I make on it. And the guy starts laughing. He says, it's $13 million upside down in a recession where the value is now half what it was when they were starting.
Exactly.
I'm like, my problem.
Right, don't worry about that.
Right? He's like, deal. I now own a 7,000 square foot house in Miami. I leave Vegas pretty damn quick after that. I'm in Miami.
I would too.
All right, and I start negotiating with the banks, the creditors, this one, that one. I'm living in the house. I'm having a good time in Miami Beach.
Yeah, I'm
in
sure
my
you are.
In my 7,000 square foot house on the water on a private island in Miami.
Yeah.
So, and Handsome Devil Enterprises is on the deed, and you can look that up. That's a fact. It's a fact. And went about marketing the house and negotiating the debts, doing a bit of work. This is a bit of a story, so I'll just cut it short. I got the debt down to $4 million, and I sold the house for $6 million.
Oh, so you still made money?
I made great money on that deal.
That's awesome, man.
I sold that house the day before my birthday. I'm trying to think what birthday it was. It was what year? How old was I? 2000. I was 26.
26.
No, 36.
Oh,
I was 36. And that same day, I went and bought myself a brand new Aston Martin.
I'm sure. Wow. So this is the second Aston Martin you had.
Yeah, it's my second one.
Wow.
So that was a great birthday, and I threw a huge party. I invited all my friends. I flew so many people into town. That was a great week.
That's awesome, man. Congrats on that, man. You know, actually taking on that debt and then making it work for you by just holding on to it and
It's
in the market.
There's a whole story to that. Another day. It's a long one.
Yeah.
But so that was like a great deal, and it put me back on the map in the community as being someone who can still throw some punches even from a long shot, because I was really out of the game. I was hustling, but I wasn't where I had been.
Right.
And that
and
really
that recession kind of hit hard.
and that really made people stand up, because so many people were trying to get that house. So many people. And don't forget, Miami is very much a New York crowd.
Right.
So the fact that I did it from 3,000 miles away, snuck back in, just took control of the deal. There were so many lawsuits, people saying, hey, this one didn't get paid, or they wanted it, or how did I get the contract, or it was contested in so many different ways, but we won all the lawsuits.
Right.
And most of them were dismissed anyway, but we won them. And that became a stepping stone from, say, 2010 to rebuilding the business that I have now. It was quite a journey, because the industry has gone through so many changes, so much evolution, that you kind of had to, it was like a new industry. It was kind of the old industry, but with a twist.
Right.
And the twist has worked out great for like private lending. So it's great, and I love it, and that's kind of how I got into real estate. That's how I got into finance, and that's how I kind of started Saxon and putting all that together.
Okay, that's cool. So is there a difference between private money lenders and hard money lenders, or is it essentially the same thing?
Well, it really depends on who you go to, because some of them actually have institutional funds behind them, some of them have private funds behind them. So the ones with institutional are probably going to be cheaper as far as rate, but they're going to be a lot more kind of diligent in the underwriting. The private investors might be a little bit more expensive, like my company, for example, but will to do the deals that other lenders won't do. And that's and essentially, I can be competitive if you come to me with a loan that says, hey, Adam, I'm looking for this kind of deal, just need to get it done. I can be competitive, but where I really get to make my money, where I really get to have my fun, is when you guys have been around the houses, you've been turned down, and you just need a loan. Well, that's where opportunistic luck comes in, and that's how we do business.
Right. So is that the only time someone should call on a lender? Is it at that point you just mentioned?
No. The good thing about private money is that we do the loans that no one else will do, but we can also close in time frames that no one else can match. I can literally close a loan in 3 or 4 days, where institutional money will take 2 weeks, just because they have to package the deal, pre-sell it to the bank, do X amount of due diligence. They kind of underwrite like a bank, even though they're charging you double the rate. So this depends. If you have time, if you have all the paperwork, which virtually most people don't in this business, then institutional funds, private lenders with institutional backing are okay. But if you just want to get something done, cut out the red tape, then private lenders are the other way to go.
Got it. So what's a typical day of your lifestyle? Waking up in the morning, like, how is your routine?
All right, so most of my friends say I have the easiest life possible. I work from my house, I look at the traffic on the 110, and I'm like, suckers. I know you do the same thing, right?
I'm chilling.
But I get up every morning at 6 a.m. Most of my business is on the East Coast, so I'm up early. I'm checking emails. Following up. I send out most of my emails the night before I go to bed, so I do my morning emails the night before, always. So it's usually from 6 to like 7:38, just following up with things, just because the East Coast is 3 hours ahead. So I want to make sure that my work is done. Then I hit the gym, at least an hour and a half. Gotta
Yeah, you know, gotta keep that handsome devil thing going on.
Totally, right? Totally. It's hard to look this good.
Hey, I have the same issue, bro.
Yeah. So, and then I start working in around 10, have my coffee, at which point I'm pretty hard at it till about 4:30. Hustling deals, making calls. I kind of start on East Coast time and work my way back. Not working anything in Hawaii right now, but sometimes I do, and that's a pain in the ass. And some of our clients are in China or Europe, so you have to manage a lot of time zones. So it's not a 9 to 5. So that's up to about 4 o'clock, and then I kind of have a break, have a rest, chill a bit, grab a snack, and then I just get back at it, and I stay at it till about 10 o'clock at night, almost every day, except for the weekend.
So what do you do to unwind, like, and just relax and chill and take your mind off work and money, which is probably hard to do, but I'm just saying, you gotta have your time to chill.
You do. So I chill for like an hour before bed. That's it. I'll watch TV in front of my laptop.
That's not what I mean. I mean, like, when do you put your feet up and sip some wine with the old lady or something?
Which is not too old, you know.
I mean, not old lady, but the old ball and chain. I mean,
the old ball and chain, okay. Her indoors, as we call it, right?
right.
So we cook together every evening.
Okay.
So for like 30 minutes. We go for a walk most evenings after when she finishes work.
Who does the cooking? She does or you do?
We have a deal. If you see me cooking, I'm lost and I have concussion. Call 911 right away. Okay. If I'm not making eggs, there is something seriously wrong.
I'm not making eggs.
So she cooks. She's an amazing cook. And then I do the dishes. And funny enough, I don't mind to do the dishes. It actually switches you off from the day.
Right.
So, and then after I switch off...
You just throw it in the dishwasher, that's it.
Well, I don't really use the dishwasher.
What? Oh,
have you used the dishwasher in this building?
That's what it's
pure
there
garbage.
for.
I wash it myself faster than the dishwasher.
Well, you can't just pack it all in there. If you got things sticking out the dishwasher, then yeah, it's
not I'm organized as hell. Everything is going in its place. If it's not in its place, I'm like, this is not working for me.
Okay, that's when the ADHD kicks in.
Total ADHD. Organization to me is so important.
Right.
A place for everything and everything in its place.
Right, but no, that helps you in your everyday life to see that everything is organized.
Yeah, if you ever come to my office, you'll see I have everything organized. Every deal, every email, every folder, every document, everything is in its place.
It helps your brain work much more clearly.
Total.
Yeah.
When I'm organized, I'm on top of my game. When I've got stuff everywhere, or I'm too busy sometimes, and it all starts to fall apart, I'm just a wreck.
Right.
An organized environment is a organized, healthy mind.
Right.
Very important. So anyway, so I do the dishes, and then I crack out the laptop, sit on the couch, watch the telly, and then go to sleep. So for me, Monday to Friday is the hustle.
Right.
The weekend is for relaxing. Go to the beach, go to restaurants. I mean, I eat out 2 or 3 times during the week, but I'm going out tonight with some old buddies from Miami who are actually in town. But money never sleeps. If you wanna kick it, if you wanna do well, don't work 9 to 5.
Right.
You're not going to be successful like saying, hey, I run my own business, at 6 o'clock I'm done for the day. It's the reason why I've always hustled, the reason why I've always made money, the reason why I've always had money in my pocket, the reason why I've always made more than my friends in the worst possible of years is simply because I work from the second I wake to the second I sleep. And if I'm not working, I'm thinking about working, and it doesn't bother me because I don't consider it a job. I consider it a lifestyle that I chose.
You love it.
And I love it. To me, if I'm hustling deals, I'd rather be hustling than blank.
Sleeping.
Or whatever you want to put before it. So, but I'm very high energy, I'm very type A, but I love to hustle. I could do it all day and all night. I could literally go the whole week with no sleep. If I'm working, I'm on top of this world.
No, that's great, and that's exactly what this show is about. It's called Sleep is for Billionaires for a reason. You know, I want to deliver that energy so people can have that entrepreneurial spirit and just take things to the next level and really accomplish their dreams. So tell me, but back to business real quick. Was there ever a deal that you missed out on that you regret?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, tell me about that. Like, damn, I could have had that one.
Let me think of a good example. All right, there was a building for sale in London, and I wanted to buy it. And it was a little bit beyond me. It was more money than I had, and I had to put together a few investors to do it. And I got the small investors in, so I had about half the money lined up. And one of my usual investor partners, who was like a big law firm, they were supposed to come in on the deal. The day off, they called me up to say, "We don't think it's going to sell for the price you think. We think you're guessing."
Yeah.
All right. And I said, man, I'm already like, this is gonna hurt. I'm gonna lose money on this deal. And they said, Adam, I'm sorry, but we don't agree with you. We think you're wrong. And I'm like, all right, fine. What can I do? It's too late now. I can't save it. It's done. Yeah. All right, someone else came in and signed the contract, put the money up. I had my window. All right, it sold for like at least 20% more than I even assumed it would.
Oh
so,
my God. I bet they felt like assholes.
Oh yeah, they felt like total assholes, and they never second guessed me again. But that was again, I was in my early 20s when I did that. But that was that taught me a valuable lesson. It taught me that the only things I ever regret in life is when my gut feeling said it was good, and everyone else told me, no, Adam, you're mistaken on this one. Whenever I've listened to people, I've been like, no. Oh, I'll give you a perfect example of this. All right, September 11th happened. We all remember that terrible day. And I used to work downtown, so
I was in New York actually.
My office was on Broad Street, so I used to come in from Forest Hills when I lived in first moved to the US on the E train all the way down to Chambers Street, and then walk from through the World Trade Center. Right. In fact, to this day, when you take the E train to Chambers, there's a wall at the end of the platform. That was the entrance to the towers. So I still get a little sad when I go there because I remember what was there. Right. And I remember all the damage and being around there at that time. So it was a very sad day. Yeah. I'd been involved in a commercial transaction to buy some buildings, but Danka Business Systems, who were a public company, they were the main tenants. Okay. So their stock had been trading at about $1. So sometimes I get the currency. Their stock had been trading for about $1 around about that time. And because the markets all crashed that week, I called my friend who's a stockbroker, and I said, we have to buy this stock. 3 cents a share. 3 cents.
Oh my God.
I said, please just buy me whatever we can get. 10,000, 20,000, just get me as many shares as we can get. He's like, Adam, if it's already down to like a penny stock, they're gonna go out. One little problem, they're out of business. You'll lose your money. I'm like, no, we have to buy this stock. He's like, Adam, no, I'm not gonna let you buy this stock because they could easily be bankrupt by morning. Right. And I'm like, all right, you're the stockbroker. You're my buddy. I trust you. Where do you think the stock was 2 weeks later?
It's through the roof.
I'm not even gonna look at you. I'm not even gonna look at you. $4.50 a share. 3 cents to $4.50 a share.
Oh my God, you would have made so much money.
I still get anxiety about it.
When was this?
This was like the week of September 2011. And I know people, everything happened, but business is business. Life goes on. Yeah. I could have bought that stock at 3 cents a share.
So do you still work with that broker?
He's still one of my best friends.
Oh, okay. Best friends, but not a broker.
But I never let him forget. That day.
Yeah, never forget.
And you know what he says? He says, Adam, I was right. If the stock would have gone down, you would have lost your money. Yeah. It's just so happens I was right.
Yeah. Oh, man.
I will never forget that for as long as I live. I would have made millions.
Wow.
Millions.
Oh, my Lord.
I missed out on the whole Bitcoin thing.
Same when it was doing the whole up and down, and it went all the way down for a second. I hesitated, and then it just shot back up and never came back down.
I was laughing at some of our neighbors. Remember when they were trading it? And I missed out on that. I could have got in on that early, and I did. So you miss out on things. Yeah. But here's the thing, though. I'm good at what I do.
Why did you miss out, though?
I didn't believe in it.
Oh, okay.
I just thought it was another hoax. BS, gonna come and go. You know how these things are. So I didn't believe in it. I didn't buy it. So you miss out on things, but it's all good because I do well with what I trust, and that's the most important thing.
And that's all that matters at the end of the day.
And you and I talked to some real estate deals, and I kind of broke it out for you as to how that works. Yes. So you know how I do with it and how we make money on what I do. Right. So many different ways. So I stick with that. It's steady. At least I don't risk. And what I love about my business is that my overhead is about this much compared to my profit. Right. Yeah.
Did you work from home?
Well, and I have an office in New York.
Oh, okay.
All right, but it's manageable, like low overhead.
Okay.
But my cost versus my income ratio is when I tell people, they just look at me like, they're like, no way.
Yeah.
You're lying to me. You're doing this from this. Yeah. All right. Literally, yeah. Wow. I have a company that I use for marketing. I pay them, I think it's $50 a week, and they're sending out 1,300 messages for me a day. I just signed up with this email company that now doing 2,000 emails for me a day, a 3 to 5% capture rate. It costs me nothing to market. Online is brilliant. Social is great. So if you know how to manage the website, the email, if you know how to manage the internet in general, and if you know how to run a good business, you can make that really profitable. So.
Now I'm glad how you utilize, you know, the websites that are there for free to work for you, and then you give them a little money. Because some people do that; they put money behind some marketing and advertisement for their business, but then it's like it just doesn't work out for them. But it seems like it's working for you.
You know, the way to make money is not to invest big. If you're going to start a business, you need to start a business. In this day and age, opening the store, paying $10,000 to get a little store, spending $20,000 in inventory to make a 20% profit, you're just working to pay the landlord, to pay the wholesaler, to pay the newspaper advertising. You're not making any money. The companies that do that have millions of dollars, so they can afford to spend that and to make money. And even they're not making money, to be honest. They lose money because most of these companies, even like Louis Vuitton or Gucci, most of these are tax write-offs. They're not making money, but they can afford to throw money at it. The way to make small business these days is to work smart, to have low cost, low overhead, to have a good product that's desirable, and know how to market it. And try not to copy everyone else. If you're trying to copy everyone else, then you're just another person selling Duracell batteries, or another person selling hairbrushes, or another one selling sex toys on Amazon or something. All right, it's all good, but a friend of mine told me recently that he's doing that and he's making it killing.
I'm sure he is. Killing pervs out here.
Exactly. So I'm like, really? He looks like such a straight guy.
Hey, but it works.
You meet this guy, he's like the most boring person you could meet, but he's making a killing on Amazon. So I think mentality, attitude, confidence, these are all what make you successful.
Contribute,
And knowing how to manage.
And what?
Knowing how to manage.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good, man. Well, I mean, you definitely got to manage your money, manage your business, and it seems like you oversee the whole thing. And
I'm a total control freak. Total. I oversee every single movement of anyone in my business. Like they have no breathing rights.
Right.
but the point is, they make money because I do that. If I didn't do that, they would probably make mistakes or lose money, and if they make mistakes, it could cost me money. So like, a misrepresentation, a misquote, they don't check something and then I end up losing money on a deal, or I can't sell the note, all these things. So I have to be very hands-on.
No, you have to be very thorough, man, because then it makes them very thorough, and then you can trust them more.
Which is
your
why,
business.
Yeah, which is why the long hours.
Right, exactly. So where can people contact you to gain your business or possibly work with you or for you?
Well, they can contact me through my personal website, which is adamcohentoday.com, or they can contact me through my business site, which is saxonspencer.com. Yep,
you think? I think.
How often do I type it? saxonspencer.com. You can follow me on LinkedIn. You'll see in big, bold capital letters, Adam S. Cohen. So that's me. I have 35,000 followers on LinkedIn now, which apparently is a lot.
Wow. He's a celeb. Public figure.
Well, I actually have that on my thing there. Everyone loved me when I put it on, and then so many people copied me afterwards. Right. Everyone went from being entrepreneur to a public figure because I got away with it. Yeah. But when you have 35,000 people following your life, it's kind of public. I do go out sometimes, and I'll be out for dinner with the wife and minding my business. So, hey, I follow you on LinkedIn. I'm like, okay. Great.
Oh, great.
All right.
You got some money for me?
Got a deal I can help you with?
Right.
It's always a compliment. You take it with a pinch of salt. But so that's pretty much it.
That's what's up, man. Well, I want to thank you for coming on the show today. You gave me a great interview. You gave me the timeline, the ins and out of your business, and I hope those that's watching, man, take his story and use it to motivate you, because it is possible. You see, from 16, I know what I was doing at 16, and it wasn't that, and I wish I was doing that, but, we're here today giving this advice to you. Once again, this is another episode of Sleep is for Billionaires, the podcast. I am your host, Johnny Vegas, the Adam Cohen. Stay tuned for more episodes to come, and thank you for watching. Have a nice day. And cut.
How was that?
That was awesome, man. I didn't think you were going to go the way you just did. I thought you were going to be shy and stuff.